Oh yeah, I was rubbing my balls on your mic. Is that a problem?
Yeah, shave your.
That's why there's all those
nutsack.
gray hairs on there. My balls are old. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Captain Cook. I'm Jerome,
And I'm Nick.
and today we're talking about Breaking Bad, Season 3, Episode 7, 1 minute, and 8 ICU.
ICU.
I gotta take these off.
Is it because Hank was in the ICU?
Yeah. I listened to that Breaking Bad podcast. These can go right there. It'll add some aesthetic. My hands are sweating.
You're gonna get
they did that.
dishpan hands now.
I got dishpan hands.
Okay, you know what?
Look, I'm Jerome. I got dishpan hands.
Have you lost your fucking mind?
That's what you were doing.
Yeah, I'm the crazy one.
I was watching, listening to the Breaking Bad podcast.
Watching or listening to it?
Both. And they talked about the lady that named the episode ICU. They had a whole big discussion, which I thought was a bit much, because they were like, I thought you they misspelled it because it's normally ICU, but then they spelled it ISEE, and they went all into it. But she said they named it that one because to make it different, but also because it's a lot of people realizing things in this episode, so it was like a play on all the stuff.
I thought it was because.
And because he was in the ICU, that was one. Of the
I thought it
reasons.
was because. No, I actually thought it was because Gus saw Walt after he fucking lied to him and said he wasn't there.
And then he looked at him and he goes, "I see you."
Yeah.
And you went, "Oh my God, that's the name of the episode."
Wow.
Like in episode 7 when Jesse goes, "Hold on 1 minute," and you did the same thing.
God.
Breaking Bad Season 3, Episode 7, 1 minute. It starts with a flashback of Hector and the twins, and he gets a little phone call about Gus, and he's like, "Hey, you don't want to work with that fucking chicken man."
Yeah, I like how
I wonder if that relationship if they'll ever work together.
Maybe.
That was interesting. I kind of forgot that he gets a Gus call then. Like, I didn't realize that. Like, I know they knew each other for a long time, but I didn't realize it was that long.
Well, remember, Season 4, there were some flashbacks with both of them, too.
Yeah. But, so in those flashbacks, were the twins that young, you think? Or was that,
They're not really twins. We keep calling them twins, but they're
aren't
just
they known as the Salamanca twins?
Salamanca brothers, I believe.
I'm going to fact check right now.
Okay.
The
Monica.
the Salamander twins.
I mean,
The Salamanca twins, Lionel and Morocco, or Lionel and Marco.
who?
Let me see. How did my computer pronounce this? It doesn't even want to attempt it. Leonel. So Lionel,
Okay.
right?
I don't know.
And
You lost me in
Marco.
Polo.
That's why Gus always texts Pollos. Because he's texting it to Marco. It's his inside joke.
Wow. So they do call them twins?
I didn't get to that yet. Commonly known as the cousins, were twin brothers and hitmen. They're
Oh.
twin brothers, you fuck rag.
Fuck rag.
You're a rag of fuck.
Wow, did you do crack before I came in here?
I think it's hot in here. My brain's melting.
My brain's melting.
If anybody's listening to this or watching, whatever, the audio might be the window's open and I got a fan on. You probably won't tell them, probably only us, but in case one little person, hey, I can hear a fan or a car trip by in the background. That's why.
No one gives a fuck.
Hess might, now that I mentioned it, he'll comment, hey, Jerome, I heard that truck drive by at 4:15 in the timestamp.
Wow.
And I'll be like, oh, fuck you, Hess. But they're doing that, and the little kids are fighting. One of them, it's either Marco or Polo, breaks the toy. And he goes, hey, you broke my toy. And they drown the little kid.
Yeah, I like it. That's his way to show him, hey, yeah, we're all family, so you gotta let him break your toys. How fucked up? He should not be
I got a
watching
feeling,
kids.
see, that was us, and it was me, you, and Taylor in the backyard. And I broke Taylor's toy, and she told on me. And you're like, hey, Jerome, give me a 40 deep in the. You'd have to have a big bucket because there's 40s in there.
Yeah.
You would just drown me. And not even because I broke your daughter's toy, just because you're like, oh, here's my reason.
I probably would have broke one of your toys. Like your favorite toy.
Or like my wrist.
Your wrist?
Mm-hmm.
No, because then I'd have to take you to the hospital.
No, you can put it in my 40 bucket.
I could just, ice it.
Mm-hmm. That's funny. They talked about those twins on the they talked about a lot about their casting with the young people. It sounds like they had a little bit of problems with that. They couldn't get any little boys like that in Albuquerque, so I think they went to, I can't remember now.
There's no Mexican boys in Albuquerque.
Like they needed twins though, and
like
and they needed to do it quickly too. But I think they either said they did it on like in New Mexico or in Mexico or in L.A. One of the two, because they talked about another thing casting in L.A. So it was one of those. But they said they went to like a local like school, and like talked to the principal and like they showed all these kids the stuff, and like they showed the kids the pictures of the twins, and the first question like they thought like, oh, these kids are gonna think this is badass and be all into it, and the first thing they go, are we gonna have to like shave our heads for this? And they're like, no. Like they're older and they shave their head or whatever. You don't have to do that. And then they showed them the scene of like a couple episodes back when the hay truck blows up and all that, and then they were stoked to do it.
Oh, right.
Just to blow it up. I don't think they show them killing people and all that.
Well, they don't show it. Well, I guess they show
that one guy, yeah. But they showed them that scene, and they're like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, let's do that. They're all into it.
They do look like it.
And then they talked about, which I never even thought about this part, of how they filmed the drowning part with the kids.
Oh. I thought about it while I was watching.
And I guess they only did, it was only like 20 to 40 seconds total of having the kid's head in the water, like in like different takes and all that, and the rest was just like camera trickery. Like when it was like cut away to the kids, like there was water in the bucket, but his head was just in the bucket, like it was like low, and like it was a special effects and like camera tricks and all that.
They didn't really drown him.
No, so I was surprised. I thought they would almost kill a kid.
Yeah, probably.
He's not really in for the art. As Hess would say, he's not down for the Pleeka.
He's not Daniel Day-Lewis.
Oh my God.
Okay, no one wants to know. Don't even say it.
Literally almost threw up. Tried to burp. But then after all that, you cut to scene and they put Hank's picture on that shrine. Where they, like inside, they used to do like the little Heisenberg stuff, but now they got Hank there.
Yeah, so they're going after Hank instead.
Yeah. Hank pulls up to Jesse's house after, previous episode going to the hospital because Maria and all that, but then she wasn't really in the hospital, and he beats the shit out of Jesse.
Yeah.
And then calls the police.
Should just left.
Honestly, if he would have left, no one would have believed Jesse. But it shows how much of a crazy guy he is for his family, but also a nice guy, because he's like, oh fuck, and then like told on himself, and then later on he's like, no, I have to take all the punishments.
Yeah. That's easy to say after the fact. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
No, in the moment I was like, yeah, fuck you, Hank. You hurt Jesse. But then later on, he gets hurt a little bit, so you kind of feel a little sorry for him. Saul shows up to the hospital. I love this part. And he goes, yo, Adrian. Rocky called and wants his face back. And then he told Jesse that this beating is his get out of jail free card. And Jesse kind of takes that a little too much, it seems like at first. And then they realize that, no, he's actually thinking about turning in Walt.
Yeah, I think Jesse had a little brain damage at first.
No, I think he's just had enough. And he's like, which it's weird because this, I get him being upset with Walt and all this stuff, but this particular instance, other than because they did make the plan together with Saul for her to do that, but it's kind of his fault because Walt went to deal with it and then couldn't call him because Hank was there.
Yeah.
And then he brought Hank to the junkyard.
Yeah, it was.
So that one is his fault, but I get him with all the other shit that's been going on, and he doesn't know, but Walt killed Jane, and so maybe he should snitch on him. And not to bring up that conversation again, but Walt killed Jane. Someone on the other side of the table doesn't believe it because he's a
dick.
But they're arguing. Jesse says...
Oh, I don't get to say anything about that.
Oh, do you have something to say?
No, I don't actually.
Dick.
Jesse's going on this whole big spiel about just everything that's going on. He's going to go on even worse one later on, but he turns to Walt and goes,
You're my free pass, bitch.
I like that slow little bitch.
Someone with one eye.
One horde flying purple people peeper ear.
Purple. What? Nobody eats peppers. I swear to God, you smoke crack before we
Dick.
No one's afraid of Jesse laying in bed looking like Rocky.
Yeah.
He's like, bitch. I didn't like Jesse this episode.
Yeah, but you're kind of a Walt defender.
It's got nothing to do with... No, Saul was
Saul was fucked up this episode. I didn't remember him, doing this shit.
He's totally on Walt's side, way more than I remember,
yeah,
too.
which I guess ultimately does kind of save his life, because he's one of the only people that kind of don't get... He gets fucked in the end, because he has to go become Gene and work at a... where does he work? I was gonna say Baskin Robbins, but
Cinnabon.
that's Ant-Man. Cinnabon, yeah.
You get Bob Odenkirk mixed up
With
with
Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
All the time. But then after that, he says that he's gonna go cook again, and if he gets caught, he'll just give him Walt.
See, but that's just talking out of your ass.
Yeah, I don't think he ever. I think it's just because in this moment he's so heated and mad
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
frustrated. It probably still is a little bit of anger because of Jane and all that too. Plus, he's mad. He can't just go do meth because he's clean now.
He should have said, "I'm gonna live fucking longer than you," and then they're
I'm
gonna
gonna get my spin-off movie.
Yeah.
Apparently, B's not a button. I thought that'd be bitch, but I'm stupid, so I hit B for nothing. Walt and Saul discuss if they think Jesse will really snitch. Walt's not buying it. He's like, nah, he won't. And pretty soon I'm going to want to fire Gale anyway, so he'll be on my side. And Saul goes, yeah, well, there's always option B. And Walt's like, option B? And he kind of looks at him, and then he's like, oh, Saul wants to kill Jesse. Which I didn't remember that at all.
Well,
Like, I remember Saul defending Walt most of the time, but I didn't remember him being like, you know, push comes to shove, we could kill Jesse.
oh, it's the same thing he said about I almost called him Chandler.
You get Matthew Perry and Badger McBadger Pants confused?
Yeah. Remember he wanted to stab him in the shower.
Yeah, but that's Badger. Like, that's a side character. He's, like, joking and saying stuff. But this one, he's like, yeah, we can kill Jesse because then you can still make me that chest.
Seen him do the river dance?
Have you met Ted?
No.
That's fucking 2 podcasts in a row that's been mentioned now.
You said it.
You said it. Hank's telling his bosses what happened with Jesse in their RV, and they mention that Jesse's pressing charges. And then they take a picture of his hands, and then he awkwardly packs his stuff and leaves. And then on his way out, he cries in the elevator with Marie.
Yeah, you feel bad for him at that point.
Yeah. Especially because, like, they, like, pulled one over on him, so then he retaliated and then loses his job.
And Walt's just nowhere to be found in the middle. He's just like...
He's
on the
down
outside.
there cooking meth going...
I don't think that's how you cook math.
I don't know
It's
how.
not a quarter pounder with math.
They do the montage out of order, so I can't
Yeah.
tell. I just think it's like eggs.
But yeah, you feel bad for him.
Yeah, totally. Especially at the end of the episode.
Well, and then you like, but you also like, because we've watched this, we also know that he's going on his like fucking suicide mission.
Yeah.
He's not gonna die, but he's in for some shit.
Yeah. You know what I'm excited for us to get to here? And well, we should have brought this up at the beginning of the show, but we're bad podcasters. The schedule is changing for this show.
Yeah, we have to get our fucking...
So we're going to finish the season. We're going to record it Thursday or Friday, but the second podcast this week will come out later this week, and we'll finish season 3. And then the following week, we'll do 2 podcasts that week also and do all of season 4. And then we're not quite sure how we'll do season 5, but probably similar. There's just more episodes. So we probably have to do 3 that week or something.
Yeah.
But then El Camino will be out. But we have to rush because, you know, we started like a month before El Camino came out or whatever. And like, oh, shit, we got to get this going.
Well, we knew it was gonna happen that way. It's just...
Yeah.
now it's here.
Yeah. Skylar goes to Walt's apartment to talk about Hank, and she tries to get him like, hey, you know Jesse Pinkman, so maybe you can get him to drop the charges.
Yeah, I didn't like her doing
Yeah, that was a little weird.
like,
Because like,
you.
and what's weird too is like for us that makes sense, like thinking of him and like he could talk to Jesse and all that. But for like in her mind, he's met him one time to buy pot, maybe twice.
Yeah, but she knows every time that someone's
Well,
calling.
I guess she knows now he's dealing drugs, so she thinks it's probably with him, I guess.
Yeah.
But she doesn't know the relationship.
It's like
they
when he
have.
gets that phone call at the hospital.
Mhm.
And he's like, oh, honey, you know who that was? And she
She's
just
like,
smiles.
she looks at him like, I don't give 2 fucks.
She also, yeah, I do know who it is.
Mhm.
And I'm walking away now.
But it'd be like if you knew I was selling drugs and you'd be like, hey, can you tell your drug dealer to like not do this?
Yeah.
Like that seemed absolutely bonkers. Did you notice too? I think it's next episode that like there's like a big thing like they basically discuss Narcos on here without it even like coming out yet.
Yes.
I always thought that was kind of funny. Walt goes to the lab and Gale is there and he's kind of dressed like Walt a little bit. Did you notice that he has like a business shirt on and like brown pants?
yeah.
Kind of acting like Walt a
No-
little bit.
No sandals.
Yeah, and then he's like, you know, I think this is the start of a beautiful friendship.
Now,
And Walt gets a look right when he says that, like, oh shit.
I do get how that's annoying as fuck.
Yeah, especially when he's used to like a guy like, yo, bitch, let's make some meth.
And this guy's like, I mean, so he's just a bit too much,
Yeah.
and that he just really wants to be friends with Walt. But I think Walt overreacted a little bit too.
Yeah. Yeah, because he totally royally fucks this guy. I think the difference is, too, like, this guy wants to be Walt's best friend.
Yeah.
Jesse kind of wants to be, like, Walt's son, in a way. Like, I think they see each other like that. That guy's like, oh, you're my fucking buddy.
You should just get some crutches.
What?
If he wants to be Walt's son.
Oh, wow. That was, like, a deep cut reference. I was trying to think, like, why does he need crutches if you're going to be in the sun? I guess I'm stupid.
Guess so.
The twins meet a guy in the parking lot who's selling guns, ammo, bulletproof vests, and all kinds of shit.
Parking lot. Was he in a parking
it's
lot?
in some parking lot. Yeah, he's got a
Oh,
big
I
ass
thought it was just like on a
RV
whole-
thing.
Like on a fucking highway somewhere.
It looked like a parking lot.
Alright.
But he's there selling them stuff. He gives him this white bulletproof vest, and they're like, hey. He's like, yeah, it works great. So they shoot him in the chest, and he's like, oh my god, you broke my rib.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if I was him, you'd be like, you have to expect that at some, like, you're selling bulletproof vest, and you're like, yeah, it works. Someone's gonna shoot you to see if it works.
Two things here. One.
It's weird seeing the guy from Always Sunny selling stuff in Breaking Bad.
Okay, so three things. So that's the first one. Second one is, as I'm watching this, I'm thinking, I know they shoot this guy, but the whole time he's talking, he's got his hands like right here. I'm like, the fucking.
They shoot through his fingers to check.
Yeah, and so then he's down there. Oh, what the fuck? And he's like hurt, which probably hurts to get shot.
Yeah.
And they just pull out money and throw it at him. He never set a price. So what, did they just make that shit up?
Maybe this probably isn't the first time they've worked with this guy. Maybe the first time about this
Oh,
bulletproof vest.
it seemed like it was the first time.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe there's just like you can go into like QT and you know how much to spend on a monster, so you could shoot the guy behind the counter and throw some money at him.
I don't think that's the same.
I think it's kind of similar if you really think about it.
I think
Because you buy monsters all the time, they probably buy bulletproof vests and ammo all the time.
it didn't seem like it. Then why, if they buy it all the time, why do they have to test it out?
That one's a new one. It's a new issue.
Because it's white?
Yeah. You know how stupid I am?
Yeah, I just had that conversation with you.
Dick.
So last night I was watching Scream 3.
Yeah.
And at the end, there's a detective gets shot, and he opens up the thing. He has a white bulletproof vest, and I was like, "Oh, he must have bought from the same guy." And then Sydney gets shot, and she has a white one also. And I was like, "Oh, both of them, they went together and bought it from the same guy that the Salamanca twins did."
every time someone gets shot with a bulletproof vest, I think of Eminem.
Why?
Because he said one of his lyrics is laying in bed with a bulletproof vest on, and I shoot myself in the head.
Well, that doesn't seem to be like go together.
What do you mean?
Well, there's a bulletproof vest on his chest. Why is he shooting himself in the head?
Because he's going to kill himself.
But then why have the vest?
That's kind of the ironic thing about the
Mm.
lyrics. But, yeah, just aim for the head.
Yeah.
Fuck the vest.
You should always just shoot
They don't
someone
have
in the head.
bulletproof hats.
No, those are called helmets. They wore them in war.
Yeah, but are they bulletproof?
Yeah.
Nah, not
You've
always.
seen Band of Brothers.
Band of Brothers?
Band of Brothers. It
Yeah.
goes, ping. He goes, whoa.
Not every time, though. Sometimes it's bing.
Well, those are the defective helmets.
Yeah, those are the...
Those are the guys that wear them.
It doesn't... Like, if they're not a star, they get shot right in the head.
Yeah, but that's just a TV show thing. Let me see. I'm going to Google.
Oh,
Wait.
for fuck's sake. I'm sorry about it.
Hey, Alexa. How effective are armored helmets?
To
I meant
what?
to say war helmets.
Here's something I found from the article Submachine Gun on Wikipedia.
Hmm.
Today, submachine guns have been largely replaced by assault rifles, which have a greater effective range and are capable of penetrating the helmets
not what
and
I
body
asked.
armor used
Alexa,
by
stop.
modern infantry.
Alexa.
She was answering. She
Oh,
said
she got-
she's saying assault rifles would go through helmets. Is what she was
Oh.
saying.
Sorry, I interrupted you then.
She's like, you dick. You asked me a fucking question.
Oh,
I don't know why she took the long road there.
yeah, and just being, no, yeah, they're good.
But she was also saying they go through vests too. So
Oh, so nothing works. I'm fucked. Where were we?
bulletproof vest.
Oh, yeah, Walt picked a fight with Gale about the temperatures of the machines.
Did-
This batch is ruined!
Do you think he really said 85?
No, he said the wrong thing, so he would make a mistake. And then,
But he said it the day before, right? Before he didn't annoy him.
oh, I don't know. I thought they, like, redid it that day.
Oh, maybe. No, because he wrote it down. I don't know.
I just assumed Walt told him a different one that day, and I was like, no, I didn't say that. I'm Walter White.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Did he-
I think he set this all up to be like, oh, Gail fucked us over again.
Yeah, probably.
Marie is talking to Hank and making excuses for what Jesse did to him, and also they have a really long conversation. That's all I wrote down about that, I think.
Was that at the...
Like they're sitting in the bed before he's going to go get, like, his final, like, testament
Oh,
thing.
that's right. I always think that he's going to get shot as he leaves, but he actually he goes when he's
Yeah, it's
coming
after
back.
that. He's got her flowers
Yeah.
and shit. Walt calls
Purple
Gus.
flowers, I noticed.
Yeah. Walt calls Gus and says that Gail isn't working out and he wants Jesse back. And then he kind of thinks that Gus hung up on him. But then they end up talking, and then he's like, "Oh, thank you, yeah, it'll be good. Well, you'll get your meth right on schedule, like it's always been promised." Until
Till tomorrow.
yeah, Walt offers Jesse the job of his new partner, 50-50, $1.5 million each. Jesse goes crazy on him. That scene we talked about in the first episode of the podcast, where he says, "Ever since I met the great Heisenberg, I've lost everything," which is pretty true.
Yeah, he didn't have that much to begin with.
You know how we talked about Jesse's brother being in El Camino? I was looking at the Reddit and people were talking about it, and some guy brought up something that I kind of didn't think about, unless we talked about it and I just forgot. But the actor who plays his brother will be way over now, since the movie takes place right after Breaking Bad. Because like, the actor's like in his 20s now, and he was like 15 in Breaking Bad, and I was like, oh fuck, I didn't think about that.
Maybe they can de-age him.
But they could also, like, if he
I mean, is he that
if he
important?
looks, if he's like 20 and he looks like a Tom Holland, he could easily look young still.
I thought
It depends. I don't even know
I
what the
thought he
guy
was
looks like.
like 12 anyways, so...
I'm gonna look him up. This is a big Google heavy episode. Let me see.
Yeah, fuck.
Jesse Pinkman's brother.
10 seconds later.
Oh yeah, he's my age.
Oh, so he can still pull it off, because Jesse's 52.
He's 52.
No, I don't know.
I was gonna see if there's like a local.
I mean, pretty sure Jesse's aged as much as he has.
I guess that's true, and Jesse looks about the same now.
Yeah.
Although, if you think about the age, like, he definitely looks older, but if these are all like now pictures of him, he could play the character in like being like college or something. Or I know he'd have to be in high school probably. They could give you some wiggle room because they didn't say exactly what year of school he was in. I don't believe.
Yeah, plus, I mean, he's not that important.
He's pretty important.
Not really.
What
He
if
smoked
he-
one fucking joint.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so Walt tells him that, or Jesse tells Walt that big Heisenberg speech, and then after that, Walt goes home and Jesse calls him and goes, 50-50 partners? And he goes, yeah. And then he goes, all right, deal.
See, and I didn't like how... So Jesse's, like, just talking out his ass the whole episode, and then
See, but I don't think he is. I think in those moments he's angry and means it. But then he can think about it and go, well, fuck, that's a good opportunity. And Walt
it's a good opportunity to work for a drug lord.
He
and
did
make
get me
meth.
into this, and he wants to keep doing it anyways. And if he does it by himself, he'll probably end up getting killed because of Walt and shit. So might as well.
Yeah, but what I mean is he knew all that shit to begin with. It's not like there's... Obviously, that's the way they wanted it to go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying in the beginning of the episode, I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. And then he does shut the fuck up and says, all right, 50-50 partners, which no one believes that they're partners.
Jesse does.
Okay, Jesse's the only one.
Mm-hmm.
And then Walt's like, yeah, absolutely, partners. And but then I almost feel like, oh, why are you doing that? So I don't know. There's no good answer for me.
So you just don't like any decision Jesse makes because you're a
Dick.
Yeah, he should go back to shooting up heroin with random girls in a bed and choking on it.
You should go back to sucking dick in the Motel 6 across the street.
We don't have a Motel 6 across the street.
Oh, so that was just my dream. Hank gives his final statement and is suspended without pay, and then his boss informs him that Jesse isn't pressing charges, but he's like, don't get your hopes up, things could change, but he's not pressing charges. And then Hank goes and gets flowers from Marie and gets attacked by the twins.
That's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, I really like how when he gets the call and they're like, yo, you got a minute, get out of there.
That was Gus, right?
I think it was like one of Gus's men. I think Gus set that call up, but I don't think Gus called him.
So is Victor?
Vector?
Mike? I mean, he only has 2 men.
He's got like a whole...
He's got that black dude. What's that guy's name? We haven't seen him yet.
Yeah, I don't know his name. But I like when he's just waiting in that car. It is a whole minute that he's waiting there for them to show up.
Odd.
It's cool though.
Yeah.
But he gets attacked.
Went from 307 to 308.
I told you that. So how they had it, the twin that gets hit by the car, they had his like back legs inside the trunk of a car, so he was kind of sitting like on his legs, kind of like on his knees, like he's about to give someone head, and then he gets hit by. It's like they really backed up the car into that car and just had fake legs dangling there, which is a pretty cool setup.
That would still scare the shit out of you.
Oh yeah, and he didn't flinch at all. I mean, if that was like the
He went. When he just,
well, once he got hit,
Yeah.
yeah. And then the other one gets their head blown off, which that's a great scene too. Hank all bloody, trying to get the bullet and put it in the thing and all that.
It's funny. I remember that Hank shot him in the head because I remember that very graphic.
Yeah, and just shoots back onto the camera.
Yeah. And I remember thinking. I remember he did that, and so Hank's going for the bullet, and I'm like. So when he goes to shoot him, I'm like, well, he didn't get it in there yet, and I just forgot he went back for the axe. Which was
yeah.
so stupid on his part.
Yeah, they mentioned too in that Breaking Bad podcast that the way they did that is they had part of the axe, like they got permission to cut into the ground right there, and then they had this thing inside of it towards like part of the axe. So when it landed, it just caught it there
Oh, really?
to make it look like that perfect. Even Vince Gilligan was like, "Oh, how'd you guys do that?"
Oh,
'Cause
that's
I got
fun.
some questions about it.
It was pretty cool.
But they said like maybe Hank was on that episode and he talked about I should probably know his real name, but he's just Hank to me. He's like that scene. I guess they had him laying. I guess it was super cold. They were filming, so he'd lay on the ground. Everyone else is in giant coats. They said like off camera, and he has to lay there like that on the ground.
Oh, that's funny.
And he's like, the scene like this that we filmed in a movie would have took us 2 months to do, and they did it in I think either like 2 days or like 2 weeks, something like that.
Oh,
But they had like a very limited amount of time to do it.
It is a very, very good scene, and
you know what I thought of when like it was happening?
Hmm.
Oh, I wish they would have done like an intro like this to this episode, like how they did the Tuco one with the car and all that. Which I mean, they've already done that once, but like shooting the car and all that, I instantly thought of that Tuco one.
Yeah, I did like it at the end too. It just pans out and it shows the guy on the ground, Hank on the ground, the dead one, and then it shows the dead one that he shot, the other extra one.
Yeah, and there's that one person that the twin shot too.
Yeah, and then it just kind of pans out to all the fucking hectic shit that went on.
Yeah, that lady's still screaming running down the street.
Yeah.
So now we're on Breaking Bad season 3, episode 8. ICU. Did you know that's the multiple meaning thing? Because like he's in the
Shut up.
Is
Is this the sister to Peekaboo?
Yeah, the villain chick on Flash.
No, the other episode.
Jesse's getting dressed to leave the hospital and is very sore, which this part kind of confused me. Maybe you can answer it. But Hank was just punching him in the face. Like, he knocked him on his back and then punched him in the face. So why was his body sore and stuff? Was it just from, like, being in the hospital and having, like, all the IVs and shit into him and all that, or?
I kind of wondered that, too. I guess, the first punch, he flew back.
Well, yeah, that's what I said. He got knocked on his back.
And then Hank jumped on top of him, so maybe...
Oh, I guess maybe Hank, like, crushed his bones. In, like,
Crushed his
in the
bones.
not sexy way.
Did you, when, I think it was when one of the twins was in the hospital, the doctor said that I guess it was his femur, was like a sack of bones.
Ugh.
And I was like, oh, that's
I
disgusting.
did not catch that. But he gets wheeled outside, and there's so many great Jesse lines, and this is definitely one of the best.
Roll me further, bitch.
Like, he wants to smoke, and then the guy's like, hey, you have to be 20 feet from here. Which is kind of, like, the guy rolls him right there, knows he's fucked up, and goes, oh, you gotta go way over there.
And he cared so much, he just walked back in the hospital.
Yeah. This is a really good scene, too, because he gets that line,
Roll me further, bitch.
and then as he's there waiting, he sees truck pull up, they pull Hank out of it, he follows Hank inside, and is like, oh, wow. And then he starts to feel real good, and Skinny Pete picks him up, and he's like, how you feeling, Jesse, man? You look fucked up. And then he's like, I feel great now.
I feel great because I just saw someone get shot. Or I almost...
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's the guy that fucked him up. You know,
Yeah.
you'd be happy if someone beat the shit out of you outside here, and then on your way out of the hospital, you saw them all shot up going to the hospital. You'd be like, yeah, you fucking deserve that, you little bitch.
Probably.
Yeah. I thought that was, and then that probably.
But
leads
that's not
into
like
why-
Jesse. It's like me. That's not like
Oh, he's
Jesse.
very angry at this moment.
You stop telling me he's angry? I understand he's angry.
Bitch!
That was I didn't know what button was gonna get pressed there.
Mm-hmm.
At the lab, Gail talks to Walt about.
Meanwhile, back at the lab.
Oh, they should have those.
Thought
He
you should have
talks to him why he's getting replaced, and I like that he keeps going, and Walt's like, I could explain it to you, and we could have a conversation about it, but I don't think it'll benefit either one of us.
Yeah, because he doesn't have a real reason.
Walt is like such a dick to him, but like in a polite way too. And then he's like, oh, he either hugs him or shakes his hand or whatever. And then Jesse shows up there.
Jesse is fucking nuts.
This was so funny because he's like, yeah, he's just being replaced, and like the chemistry with us is just better than me and blah blah. And he's like, whoa, oh my, and like going crazy about smacking all the things and shit.
Yeah, he look at all the chrome.
Yeah,
he was.
I mean, and he looks like a zombie.
Could you imagine, like, you're a chemist and you're getting replaced by Jesse?
Which is funny if you think about it, because like the previous day, Walt was like, we have to respect the chemistry. And then that guy walks in, and he's like, I just don't understand.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're kind of on Gail's side here.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Jesse asks Walt if he's like, how's the cell service down here? And then he's like, it's pretty shitty. And he goes, you haven't talked to anybody all day? And then mentions that Hank's in the hospital. So then it cuts to the doctors working on the surviving twin.
Mm-hmm. That's when he said that, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, at first you kind of think like, oh, maybe they're working on Hank.
Yeah.
And then it's like, boom, it's a twin. Not Hank's twin, the Salamanca twin that survived.
They shot Hank so many times he had a twin.
Yeah, it's like Bioshock. ASEC tells Walt that it was the cartel who shot Hank, and that in that room it gets brought up that Hank didn't have his gun on him, and Marie fucking loses her shit.
Yeah.
Yells at everybody. Which I see your point, but then also like he did fuck up, and she should have realized he didn't have, like, if he got suspended without pay, why would he have his gun? He was on the phone with her and all that shit too.
Yeah. Yeah, she's just lashing out because she blamed Walt right after that.
Yeah, which I like that. I have that written down here. So,
and it was.
She blames Walt because he bought marijuana from Jesse. And then Skylar actually defends Walt there, which I kind of like.
Little do they all know, yes, it's entirely Walt's fault.
It's completely Walt's fault, 1,000%.
And the only reason Hank got shot is because Gus didn't want Walt to.
So like, she's in the right to yell at him for that.
Even Walt doesn't know that.
Yeah, Walt doesn't know that, and she doesn't know that, but she is right to yell at him. Yeah. Walt rips.
And he looked guilty.
Yeah, Walt rips a paper out of the magazine and folds it to fix a wobbly table.
That's such a Walt thing.
Yeah. That I wasn't gonna write it down, but I was like, I should, because he has like those little quirks.
Yeah.
Walt gets a call from the hospital, and it's Jesse asking him if he's ever gonna come back to work, and saying that the one guy that he's allowed to talk to came down and told them that they need to work.
Yeah, Victor.
Walt's like, Gus was there, and he's like, no, he's the other guy, the one that I'm, I guess, allowed to talk to.
Yeah.
Marie gets real mad about the spoons in the cafeteria, and then Walt talks about how he survived there and how he drove there and just wanted to be with his family and all that stuff.
Yeah.
He's always like, he has the worst advice to give in those situations. Where like eventually you get to his point and you realize what he means, but it takes him so long to get there, and half the time they're thinking like, what is he talking about?
Except both Walt Jr. and Skylar enjoyed it. They were like, oh really, you want to spend time? Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Eventually they got
she even
that,
started to cry a little bit.
Yeah, but at first they look at him like, well, what's he talking about?
Yeah.
So Gus gets the call from the cartel and asked if he gave the go-ahead to shoot Hank, and he says no, and they tell him that they're gonna lay low until the surviving twin is free. Gus kind of gives him some shit like, oh, you think he's gonna be free, or you think he's gonna make it? They're like, oh, they say it's looking good.
Yeah, and Gus is like,
so Gus is like, oh, okay, let me make one phone call.
Yeah. Gus doesn't want him talking.
Yeah. Marie and the family get the news that Hank's out of surgery and is looking good, but like it's too early for the doctor to tell. And then Walt offers to go home and grab them some things. I thought here that he offered that because previously he offered something like that. I don't remember when. And
when
he went
Skylar had the baby.
Yeah, and then he went and like, did the money and all. So I thought he was gonna quickly go to Jesse and be like, hey, do this, but he didn't. But on his way out of the hospital, he runs in the DEA, and they show him the surviving twin, and then he jumps down and climbs at him, and Walt's like, oh fuck.
Yeah. Which
is weird because like I get it, like the guy looks angry and like wants Walt, but I'm a little impressed that he like connected it back to Tuco.
Well, it's because he said he had his cousins coming.
I mean, I guess he knew Cartel because of the DEA, so I guess that kind of makes more sense.
Cousins,
with all that.
And he fucking blew a gasket when he saw Walt.
Yeah. We get the awesome Jesse's board montage.
So this is when Jesse does the TikTok challenge?
Oh my god, those should be on TikTok.
It was the same thing as fucking blowing up a trash can, or a trash bag.
He does all this shit, blows himself up, does all kinds of shit down there. What song's playing when he does that?
I have no idea.
It's a real good one. But not enough. It was one that you like. I'm gonna pull up the scene. You made me do it.
I don't care that much.
No, you care. Tell the people how much you care while I look this up.
Okay. On a scale from 1 to 10, it's probably like a 1.5.
That wasn't long enough for me to find it. Oh, I
Two-
found it.
In about 5 seconds, you guys are gonna watch me walk
Got
in
an
the
ad.
Let's see over here.
There's an
Race
ad
some
for
go-karts. Now, this is
go-kart
happening in
racing.
real time.
That I recognize that song.
This song. He likes it raw.
Wow. I don't know if that's a great song.
I mean, it's better than any song you've made, you fucking
That's
kumquat.
not true.
And what name of a song that you made? Sing me a lyric from it.
I can't. You won't make any money on this podcast.
Oh, you're gonna take down this podcast if I put your song in it? Well, you're a piece of shit. Victor walks in and asks Jesse why he wasn't cooking. So maybe I went a little ahead of my. No, I guess we just didn't see Victor talk to Jesse. I guess before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Victor goes down and says, "Why isn't anything cooking?" And Jesse's like, I don't know how." Walt gets another call from Jesse, and then Walt asks him, "Do you remember who Tuco said was coming after us?" And Jesse's like, "What? What? I don't know." And then he goes, "It was his cousins, right? Cousins." And then he kind of figures it out that like, oh shit, they were coming for him and they killed Hank.
Yeah.
Walter Jr. talks about his Pablo Escobar book, and then
It was literally
makes me think,
Narcos.
in this universe, Walter Jr. created the show Narcos.
Well, no, because Narcos is based off that book.
Oh, it's based off that book.
Well, from what I don't know that for sure. I didn't look into it, but the way he described it, he said,
Yeah,
this
no
is-
one knows about the guys that took down Pablo Escobar.
yeah. So I mean, the funny thing is that Skip McDonald, who's an editor, I might have made that up. He's one of the editors with Kelly Dixon.
Mm-hmm.
He then left.
Did he leave them to do Narcos?
Yeah.
Do you know that for sure? Should I look it up?
Sure.
Skip McDonald
Donald had a farm.
farm. Yeah.
One of the editors left, and they were working on Narcos. I know for sure.
A few moments later.
Oh, he edited El Camino.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. Fargo, Breaking Bad. I don't see Narcos for him. So maybe he was the other editor
Could have been the other guy.
for them. But I like that they got him to do El
Well-
Camino. Because I know a lot of times on the Saul podcast, and I've noticed on Breaking Bad, I mean, not like he makes or breaks the episodes, but it seems like he's edited a lot of the really good ones.
Now you want me? Can I look it up by you?
Sure, I'll just continue and tell me if you find it.
Okay.
Yeah, Walker's in like, oh, the Pablo Escobar book, Narcos, that's where we're at right
Yeah, I
now.
actually stopped it and showed Mom when I was watching it.
Oh, the book thing?
Yeah.
Gus calls Walt, and Walt lies to him and says, "Oh yeah, we're doing everything great, blah blah. Gail put us, behind, but he's out running errands and blah blah blah." And yeah, he's already lying to Gus about what they're doing down there. It's Jesse's first day, and Walt's already lying to Gus about it.
And all he would have to do is tell him the truth.
Yeah, because Gus he's a business guy, kind of like Walt, where something like that happens, he'd be understanding about it.
Right.
And then he lies to him. Because even later on, he catches him in a lie in his understanding about it.
Yeah. But you can see that it's coming to a breaking point already.
Yeah, a little bit. Walt and Gomez talk about Hank and how they'd like to kill the surviving twin. Gomez kind of looks at him like, "Oh fuck yeah, Walt." Pats him on the back, and
Oh,
then
yeah, I
and
forgot
then
about
Gomez gets a call that Gus is there and brought them Los Pollos.
Yeah, and Walt's like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah. So then they're in the room and Gus mentions that he's met Hank before, and he goes, "Actually, we talked about you, Walter." And he's like, "Oh, really? Why?" And talks about, we talked about your health condition. I hope you have some good news about that. All that shit. And then Walt follows Gus out after he's leaving, and he's asking, he's like, "Do you know any answers about Hank? Like, do you know why this is happening? And, like, why are you here?" He's like, "I hide in plain sight, Walter, just like you."
Yeah, that was a cool. And then he's like, "Yeah," and then shake my hand. And
Yeah, shake my hand as we leave and whatever, and say
Yeah.
thank you. The cartel calls Gus and blames him. Oh yeah, sorry, the last twin. I forgot.
You know what? It's Chris McCaleb.
Oh, okay, I don't recognize that name.
But he's on the podcast.
But really? Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool though. Yeah, the other twin dies, and as they're in there, you see Mike walk up in the background and put a little thing in a little cupboard thing.
Yeah,
Put a little thing in a cupboard thing.
yeah. What was he putting in there? Like whatever he injected him
I
with?
assumed it was. I'm assuming he just put air in the IV and put the syringe in there.
Oh, maybe.
But they could have injected him with.
I've
like,
never killed
with,
anybody
like,
in the hospital
Gatorade.
before. So.
Usually they just put air in there.
I told you I watched this,
Well, I hope you watch it. We have to do a podcast about it.
Well, you know, sometimes.
Better call Saul.
I was watching it, and the scene came, and I was camping. So I was
Now,
watching
you
it.
watched this in the woods.
I did. I was by a
Do you think
campfire.
that's the first episode of Breaking Bad watched in that forest?
Oh, maybe. I don't know. So I'm watching it, and I was paying attention. So I don't know.
Doesn't sound like
I don't
it.
know. So I don't know what. But I don't know. I did show Mom the part with Jesse jumping
Yeah.
around. So I was doing some stuff as I watched it. And then they run up there to see him die. And I was like, I missed Mike going in there somehow. So then I fucking rewound it to back to where I did it. Maybe I got up to get a drink or something. I don't know.
Mhm.
So and then I rewatched it all the way through again, and I was like, oh, maybe I made that Mike thing up. And then you see Mike at the end. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's.
Yeah.
So I just remembered it
'Cause
like differently.
They did that because everyone's freaking out, and Walt's like, "Why? What's happening? What's happening?" Because he thinks maybe Hank died or something.
yeah.
But then it's the twin. He's like, "Yeah, you rotten hell, you bastard." Gomez says that. But the cartel calls Gus, and
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Is Gomez a bad actor?
he's not bad, but he's definitely like he could probably have been on The Sopranos.
Okay, and that's a weird answer, but
Like he's not the worst actor, but he's definitely like he's
Like,
no
there's-
Bryan Cranston or like
yeah,
Aaron
because
Paul.
he's like bastard or whatever. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And it's just like
It is a little odd.
it just seems
you couldn't tell if he
forced.
was mad or happy in that scene.
It's just forced.
Yeah.
Go ahead and die, you piece of shit. It's just like
Dick.
wow.
The
But I don't know. Maybe he's like something else, and something else he's great. It's like maybe it's just me.
Yeah. Or
I
could it-
hate when people
could it-
say
could
someone's
it
a bad
have been
actor.
That scene.
I hate when people say that.
So did you hate that when I brought it up in The Sopranos? And
Yeah,
and
actually,
then
I
I
did.
changed your mind on Meta Soprano.
But then she got better, and you wouldn't admit it.
She didn't get better. As far as I saw, she was still phone.
Phone.
It's our, sorry, we're popping.
Maybe
on,
you should be a
we're,
better
we're
actor.
popping on El Camino. Captain Cook, I mean.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
The cartel calls Gus and blames him for everything that happens, and they threaten him. When this is done, maybe we'll just go pay Gustavo a visit. And he's like, "Oh, really? What? Who? He's someone at your door, little bitch?"
Yeah.
And they get shot up.
And this is so. Am I crazy? This is the guy that helped him, or maybe maybe Gus helped him take over.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but there's something with them and that other guy
Yeah,
in those flashbacks. Because
Good.
doesn't that guy get sick and fall? Oh wait, or just no, that guy's already dead by the time like Jesse and Mike get there, right?
Yeah, because he just died.
No, not that guy. I meant like the other guy that we're thinking they took down together. The other cartel dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting my flashbacks mixed up.
Yeah, it's hard at this point, especially because there's also flashbacks of all those same meetings in Saul.
Yeah, we need to. You know what you should do?
I'm
tomorrow?
not editing all the flashbacks in like chronological order.
Yeah, and then we just watch them
No.
straight.
And then the doctor brings the family in to go see Hank, and then credits.
He looked good, didn't he?
He's looked better.
Yeah.
Like when he's laying in bed and playing with minerals.
That'll be soon.
I thought of him when you guys were camping. We were at Barnes and Noble, and they had a rock mineral playset.
Oh, really?
And I was like, I should get a bunch of those for the podcast.
God, you're weird. Seriously,
They're minerals, Marie.
you're weird.
I tried to get a clean button. When I was originally doing the soundboard, I was going to download them. I didn't record them off the TV I was going to do originally, but I couldn't get a clean minerals one. There's another one I couldn't get off YouTube that was good. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just have to record them all myself.
Wow.
So now we have.
What'd you charge for a Wendy, Wendy?
But that's it for the podcast. Anything else you want to say?
I still think this is the best season. And these last two
I
episodes.
agree with you so far, but I do think our minds will change as we go farther. 'Cause
Probably.
there's some good shit coming up in these other seasons too.
Probably, but this has been like. Like, can you imagine waiting a week after fucking Hank is
No,
laying-
I remember. I think the first time we watched it, I don't remember any of the rewatch stuff about season 5 that much.
Mhm.
But when we watched season 5 live, by the end of every week, I was like, what am I gonna do with the rest of my week until this is on again?
Yeah.
Every episode, you're like, holy shit, and then like Hank dies, and you're like, fuck.
And then on top of it, we had Dish, and they
They were gonna kind of cancel AMC and
they
shit.
did cancel.
So that was
it.
season 4 they did, because all of season 4 we watched at Mima's house.
Was it 4?
But 5 they threatened it again like halfway through, and you're like, you pieces of shit.
Oh, so we were caught up by 4.
Yeah, you bought for the first episode on Amazon, and then after that we watched it weekly at Mima's house. I remember that because
How the fuck do you remember that?
Mauser came with us to watch at our house.
Wow, that was a long time ago.
Yeah. But thanks for watching, everybody. Please like, subscribe, comment down below anything about this episode. Maybe if you have any theories on El Camino, we thought about the trailer and all that shit. We'll see you guys next episode.
You are fucking awesome.